Thank you, Deputy Presiding Officer, and thank you, Minister, for your statement. Despite the Welsh Government's previous efforts to eradicate racism in Wales, the number of racially motivated hate crimes are on the rise. It is estimated that 65% of hate crimes are racially motivated. These sorts of facts has led some to consider Wales as the most racist country in the United Kingdom. Many young people from ethnic minority backgrounds believe racism is just a part of normal life for them, and no government plan will stop the racism they receive. This is truly sad. A BBC report into racism in Wales found young people in general don't always feel safe when they leave their homes out of fear of what might happen to them. The Welsh Government plan are undermined by the reluctance of the police in Wales and England to acknowledge institutional racism within their organizations. This is despite complaints of young ethnic minorities suffering injuries during their time in police custody. Trust in public services, including government policies, can often be heavily influenced by the relationship with enforcement agencies and services on the ground. Despite the BAME communities making around 6% of Welsh population, only 3% from ethnic minorities backgrounds are appointed to public office positions. Within the general job market, employees from ethnic minority backgrounds earn 7.5% less than their white counterparts. All these issues can have major implications on the mental and physical health of people of all ages from the ethnic minorities. The notion of the self-worth and acceptance are things we all want. For ethnic minorities, these fears are sometimes a sad reality. My question to the Minister is, the Welsh Government have made previous attempts to end racism and discrimination in Wales. With their new program, can the Minister outline what they have done differently to prepare a plan to address the issues they have previously failed to solve? Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Altaf Hussain, for your contribution and your questions. I started my statement by actually referring to that debate that we held last year, where the whole Senate, in fact, I remember speaking to Darren Miller about the motion that we all agreed, every party, as we did the year before. We did support that motion to wholeheartedly address that, the fight to root out racism and strive towards a more equal Wales. And I think this plan will help us actually deliver this. We can't have a debate every year without actually the kind of change that you know and that we know that we have to address in terms of the racism that does blight people's lives in Wales. And that's why we've been very clear that this is an anti-racist Wales action plan, and it's got a robust set of actions to help us make a real difference to the lives of people in Wales. Now, this is a leadership issue, it's a representation issue. This morning we had 300 people joined our virtual launch, and there were people signing up to, for example, the Zero Tolerance of Racism campaign, very much led by Race Council Cymru and the Wales TUC. We have people from all over Wales. North Wales Race Equality Network has played a key, Professor Robert Moore, key role in ensuring that we have a pan-Wales approach to this, as well as all of the community organisations who we funded with the community mentors in every part of Wales, who actually contributed to getting these actions, these goals into the plan. It's been developed collaboratively together with Black, Asian and minority ethnic people. And if we do get this right, then we can become truly anti-racist. We have to actually get rid of policies, systems, structures and processes that actually result in very different outcomes for ethnic minority people. And, you know, I've already mentioned the fact that we have a rich contribution of black, Asian, minority ethnic people to our society. And it can be felt everywhere, in every sphere of life. But not enough has been done to ensure that all can play their part and to have that opportunity and that confidence that they are not going to face barriers as they grow up, go through school, education opportunities. It is important that we do have those goals and outcomes. I think you have actually referred to issues around crime and justice. Now, this is not devolved. I co-chair the Policing Partnership Board with the First Minister. And I think it's very important that, in fact, working together in terms of devolved and non-devolved, we're trying to address this because the Criminal Justice in Wales Anti-Racism Action Plan is alongside our Anti-Racist Action Plan, is going to be crucial in terms of ensuring that our partners in criminal justice, and of course we were responsible for justice and pursuing the case, and indeed for policing, as this, not your party, but this chamber supported only a few weeks ago. But I think you will, when this is published, you will welcome, I'm sure, the Criminal Justice Anti-Racism Action Plan, because it is those police and crime commissioners and chief constables who've agreed to take this approach. And what they would like to see is one public service approach to advance race equality across Wales. So, I just want to say, in terms of hate crime, we fund the Wales Hate Support Centre. It's run by Victim Support Cymru, 24/7 support, advocacy and advice, and also it's the first service in the UK to offer a national children and young person friendly hate crime service. And of course this is the campaign. It actually is part of our Hate Hurts Wales campaign, which we've looked at, and it's going to help us identify where we need to address issues. The campaign highlighted a hugely negative impact of hate crime on both victims and their own lives, and also referred to the bystanders who actually do not call out the racism that we all know about. I think it's important that we do see that race hate crime is recorded in Wales, and that our national hate crime statistics did show an increase. But it also highlights why our work in this area is needed. And that's why our Hate Crime in Schools project is so important, our community cohesion programme as well. So, this is where we feel that Wales will lead the way with our anti-racist action plan, and we want you to be part of this, and I'm sure you will be.